He conducted himself like a knucklehead on a couple of occasions.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Welcome back to the second episode of the Chase Brewster Show. I am your host, Chase Brewster. Today I got a very special guest, someone that has played a huge part in the success of the Sticks and done some personal stuff for me and even become a close friend and hopefully business partner in the future. Someone I know a lot of you guys know and have seen him out all summer. Willie Prince, better known as Black Cobra Media. How you doing today, Willie?
Hey, man, doing good, man. It's a beautiful Saturday over here in Atlanta. The weather's getting pretty good now. You know, I'm a big guy, so, you know, summertime's kind of tough for me. You know, we sweat a lot, but it's about to be fall time, you know, so big boys about to be thriving. So, man, like I said, just happy to be on with you, man. Happy to get on here and talk about some stuff. So,
well, you know, from personal experiences, this is something I've been talking about. We've been talking about for the last couple of years. So, see it to finally come to fruition is something that's been a blessing for sure. And we had Dirk on episode 1 and kind of talked about the same thing. Wanted you to be a part of episode 2. Just because you guys know, I mean, this wasn't an overnight. It wasn't a, hey, let me buy a microphone. This was something that, you know, we really had real visions and real goals and wanting to help. And, you know, I definitely appreciate all your help behind the scenes, what you've done for me personally and professionally.
Sure.
Six kids love you. All the kids love you. I mean, everybody loves Black Cobra. And I think your story is very important. I know it a little bit, but the whole point of this show and this podcast in general is just, it's not about me, even though it's called the Chase Brewster Show. I think one of my biggest blessings in life is having some of the best friends in the world, man. You know, this me and you talk once or twice a week anyway. I feel like this is just a normal Saturday conversation. It just happens to be on video. So I appreciate you taking time during the Bama-Texas game to talk a little bit.
Yes, sir.
I know you got a lot going on. So tell the world, you know, Willie Prince grew up in Birmingham, you know, right outside of Birmingham, I think. Tell us the Willie Prince story before he became Black Cobra.
Ooh, I mean, honestly, it's a pretty basic story. Like I said, originally from Birmingham, actually, my hometown, Alabaster, Alabama. Played ball at Thompson High School. Went on to go to UAB. Played a year of football there at UAB. Been in Atlanta since 2017. That's when I picked up the camera. So I picked up the camera for the first time. It was I bought a camera Black Friday of 2017. And kind of the story behind it is, and a lot of people might not know this, but I kind of went through a little dark time in life. People don't know this about me, but I was married. Went through a little tough divorce. So was in a little dark spot where like I was kind of just going through the motion of going to work, coming home, playing video games, not really, you know, getting out. And I was like, man, I need something to kind of, you know, get me out of the house, kind of free up my mind. And so I was like, you know what? Never really been an artistic guy, creative guy. I was always like a sports jock in high school. I was like, you know what? Let me just get a camera. I don't know why I want to get a camera, but I was like, let me just go buy a camera. And obviously, you know, Black Friday, they had a lot of good sales going on. So I scooped one up like Black Friday. And like I said, just started shooting. When I first started, I was doing more like families. I was doing like engagement, shot a couple weddings, working with more models. And so that's kind of what got me started. And then, like I said, fast forward to like where we're at now, we launched Black Cobra May of 2021. So I'm only like a year and a half in, but it's been a super good ride though, for sure.
So, and I didn't know some of that, but one thing I do know that I don't think a lot of the world knows either is you're an umpire by heart.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what got. So yeah, I'm a college baseball umpire, and I started out doing just the travel ball scene. So I don't think I ever umpired any of your games before, like we met. But like I was like, you know,
no, when we met, you came in our dugout. You had umpire pants on and shoes, and you had took your shirt off, and yet you were just shooting. I think maybe Justin Best.
Yeah, I think I met Justin and Jason, JJ. So. That's kind of how I got my start in just sports, was that I had a lot of connections in baseball. Obviously, you know, PBR, Lake Point, and then, you know, PG and East Cobb. They kind of gave me access to, like, if I wanted to go on the field and shoot. So I was like, you know, let me just try shooting sports. And like I said, last summer just kind of blew up bigger than what I would have ever imagined, you know what I'm saying? But it's definitely been a good ride.
Well, you know, and I'll tell the world at this point in my career, I'm a huge advocate and fan of just good people, man. Like, change the world. And that's, we talked to Dirk about it, and I don't know what change the world means. You know me, like, I'm very transparent, I'm honest. Like, I don't have this is what we're going to do, but I want to be a part of change. And that's kind of one of the main reasons I wanted to do the show, was because I feel like if just one person watching this can get something from it, or, be motivated, or hear a story. I mean, I didn't even know the dark side of it, and we haven't even gotten to the bright side. I mean, I've been with you in personal moments and professional moments, and I mean, this thing's going to grow 5 years from now, hopefully sooner than that. I mean, it'll be hard to get you on. And it's coming what feels like overnight, kind of like the Sticks. I feel like it feels like overnight, but nobody knows all the hard work behind the scenes. But we wanted to kind of, I wanted to go by chapters. People do seasons, they do whatever. I wanted to do chapters. So chapter 1 for me was the why. And the why to me was to change, inspire, and motivate. And again, I don't really know what change means. I just know I want to be a part of helping people and getting older, and just really on my heart to help everybody that I can. And hopefully some of these episodes will help. So you kind of started with your why. You went a little bit ahead of the podcasters' questions, and you kind of gave the why from the beginning. But give me the why Black Cobra Media is so important to you, and kind of I know from experience, you have a unique, just like a lot of people like me, you have the unique ability to touch so many people, even in one time, in one day, in one event, a bright face, me and you were on the pier one day, and a lady stopped and was like, "Hey, are you the guy that takes pictures in the dugout? Can you get a picture of my kid?" Super cool moment for me, just as a fan, to see. But just talk about the why, and kind of where Black Cobra Media and Sports is kind of going, and stuff like that.
Like I said, man, it's cool because, like I said, I've never been a creative. Never, like I said, played ball in high school, played a year in college, so I've never been the one to be on the creative side. Looking back at my own personal, just sports journey in high school, I remember I think I only have maybe 3 pictures of myself, and I was actually talking to a coach yesterday. I was out doing some shooting yesterday, and we were he was telling the kids that hey, y'all need to just embrace these moments, cherish these moments, because he was even when he played, he was you'd be lucky to get a photo for the whole season. You know what I'm saying? And I look back played 4 years of high school ball at a pretty big high school in Birmingham, and I think I got 2 pictures. And so for me, I think it is special, especially as, the world's growing and we're moving into this world of social media. You got NIL, you got Instagram, all these social media outlets. But, more so than anything, I think it's important to just kind of capture moments. That way, when you're 10, 15, 20 years down the road, parents, grandparents, whoever it may be, you can always kind of come back and see things. So when I first started, it was kind of just what am I doing? I'm just trying to meet people, trying to make connections. Like I said, met you that one day, and it was just it just worked out. Didn't know what I was getting into, but now as we're a year in, and you kind of get to backtrack, it's kind of what we're doing. We're preserving memories for parents, for players, for athletes, for whoever it may be that want to. You might want to go back and just see it. It's a way that we can capture that and have those moments preserved forever. So that's one of the big whys now, is that I wish I had that. I wish I could go back because kids always ask me. Here's another funny thing. So I'm built like an offensive lineman now, but believe it or not, I played running back in high school. I was 6'1", 215. I ran 4.48. You probably remember old school Darren McFadden, who played with Arkansas. Yo, I was the comp of him. I was power back. But when kids see me, they're like, "Cobra, you lying. You didn't play no running back." And I can't show them no clips. I have nothing to show them. So it's kind of man, I wish I could show y'all some clips of me, breaking it for an 80-yard touchdown. But, now it's just, like I said, preserving memories, man, and giving these people something they can hold on to forever.
And I think the beauty of it, and the beauty in art in general, is you can do so much with one shot. You have one guy with one camera. There's pictures, there's videos, there's graphics, there's edits, there's it's I know from an organizational standpoint, it means a lot to us, because it's not about me, for sure. I think you'll testify to that as anybody. I don't care personally, but I do from an organization. When I look back, these are memories I'll never forget. Some of the WWBA stuff, and the kids. One of the biggest whys to me is we've had such good kids. And, hopefully with some of these guys are in the big leagues, Jason and some of these guys are just, who cares if they make it? Just wherever, you look back at some of these videos, you just think, that team was so special, that kid was so special. So I know I appreciate you. I know you work with a lot of other organizations, Clutch, East Cobb, I'm sure, Wow Factor. I'm sure those guys appreciate you too. But on the organizational side, I think the story is these. The story of summer baseball gets told like, oh, it's a meat market. They're in, they're out. Nobody cares about the kid. But I really have joy in looking back sometimes and going like, hey man, like that group was special, that weekend was special. And this wall behind me, I mean, and I don't even you can't even see all the pictures. I mean, you took several of these.
I see a couple. Yeah, yes, sir.
The picture of me and Jeff Petty's at the top.
Yeah.
So I think you took 4 or 5 because there's some not in frame. But those are memories that that'll last a lifetime, hopefully. So I know we appreciate you. We're looking forward to making more memories. So on the umpire side, are you done umpiring, or you still getting after?
It's tough to say. Like as of right now, if I had to say right now, then yeah, I think I'm done. Only because, and I guess we'll talk about it later. Like we've got so much stuff planned. So last year was fun, and like I said, baseball took me away about 4 days out of the week during like high school season. So this year, like I said, my YouTube's been growing. Obviously, Instagram's growing. So I think I want to take a year off, kind of just to focus on that and see if I can grow that. I've always got umpiring in my back pocket. And then honestly, I don't know, like it's a grind, you know what I'm saying? Like I enjoy it for sure. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy it, but when I do my college stuff, I'm gone Friday, Saturday, especially some of my conferences are going to 3-day series now.
Sure.
So I'm gone. I'm leaving Friday morning. I'm not back till Sunday at night. I've missed the whole weekend of action, whether it be PBR, PG, high school. So I think I'm done for right now. I've still got all my stuff, and I can go back whenever, but I think I'm gonna take some time to just kind of invest in myself, invest in the company and the businesses, and see where that goes.
So this is a side note, but on the umpire side, if anybody's watching, me and you were talking one day, and you told me like you can't do it part time because of the rules. There's just so much studying and keeping up and all. So speak on that a little bit about the grind. It's not as easy just stepping out there and calling them out.
And like obviously, I have I've been on both sides, fan umpire. So even like watching some games, behind the plate when I'm shooting, I'll hear parents that think they know rules and stuff like that. And I just tell everyone, I wish there was a day where we could like swap the parents and they could do like a parent on the field umpire and just kind of see. It's a grind, and even those guys in the MLB, you hear people talk about them, but like those are the best of the best. And like some of those guys are still getting 93% of strikes. They might miss one that's kind of bad, but they're still 93% accurate. And like people don't understand how tough that is. Even at the college level, it's like, guys are throwing curveballs and like in the profession, we call them like nut cutter pitches, where it's like in a JV game, you might only have like 5 or 10 like true like ball strike types. Yeah. At my level of college, like you might see 60 pitches that could go ball to strike. So like the whole game. And like as a coach, you know how it is. You got elite level pitchers that are painting the zone. Like, you need some of those calls. So the grind from just the rule book, like I said, not even like the travel. I'm anywhere from Florida to South Carolina, Tennessee. So like just the travel.
For sure. And you were in a great conference too. For people that don't know, I mean that's one of the best conferences around.
Yeah. So I was in the my main conference was the Gulf South. So I mean you got West Georgia, you got Valdosta, you got Shorter, Montevallo. So a lot of good, and that's one thing about baseball. There's a lot of good baseball from the JUCO, D3, NAIA, all the way up. There's some good baseball around. So
what about like when you're shooting a game? How hard is it for you to watch some of these bad umpires?
It's funny because like I'm an umpire, so I never want to talk bad about someone just because I'm in that brotherhood. But and the problem is now that everything's gotten so big, perfect games growing, PBR is growing. There's not enough quality umpires. Like realistically, I think we talked about this when you all played in Hoover this past year for like PG Elite. That's a tournament where you really only need college umpires.
For sure.
But there's just not enough people. I mean, we've got guys out there that have only called 8th grade games, and they're seeing pitchers that are throwing 90 plus. They're not ready for that. So it's almost like, and parents don't understand it. And I try to do a decent job of saying like, hey guys, like understand this guy's 21. He's only worked 20 games total. He don't have the experience, and it's not because he doesn't want to get better. Most of the college umpires don't call travel balls. The money's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? For $60, I don't want to call it. So that's the problem. And really, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's no real way to combat it. Like the companies are growing faster than like the umpires, and out of all the sports, people don't want to umpire. You gotta deal with this.
The worst to me is like when somebody goes like, "Hey, this is my zone." I'm like, "No, there's just one." Like I hate, and then we'll be that, like of course we'll get down early because we're better than the other team, and they'll be like, "Coach, well this has been my zone all day." I'm like, "No, it's
Yeah.
It's just 17 inches. It's either a ball or a strike. And
As a coach, I know it's because like I said, there's a lot of inconsistencies, and not because people are just purposely bad. They just don't have the training. The training's not good, and they don't have the reps. And if you don't see that kind of pitching, I remember my first. I'll tell you this: my first time at Lake Point when they first opened, they threw me in a game, a quarterfinal. I'll never forget. I had it was East Cobb versus team. It's like a team out of Toronto. I don't know if it was Team Canada. But they played in the quarterfinals like the World Wood Bat.
Yeah.
That was the biggest game of my life. It was nighttime, and I had no idea what I was doing. Luckily, made it through. But even in that moment, I should have never been on that game. I think the starting pitcher from East Cobb was going to. I was a black. I think he was going to Louisville. He was hitting 92.
Yeah.
I just got through doing freshman ball that year, and probably had seen like 78 was my top. And he's painting, so it's just one of those situations where
And I'll tell you too about umpires. The thing for me is like when they're assertive and just take control. I don't really care if they're good or bad. I just hate.
So my dad officiated football, and one thing they told us was, hey, if you have confidence, you can even in college. There'll be times when a ball might be a ball, but I come up straight like I really sell it. No one's gonna say nothing. But that moment when you kind of timid and you come up, now you give everyone a chance to like question you. So but that, like I said, that goes back to training. Like there's not enough training involved, so like umpires aren't getting taught stuff where it's like, hey, don't like people don't purposely want to be bad, but like I said, you got to, So
and we try hard not to berate anybody because, like I said, I don't know those guys. I never see them again. Like I don't take a lot of people take it personal. I'm just trying to get on the good side, and I think that's a bad thing too because you get on that good side with the lead, it might well be ball game, but anyway. So we it's a shame that the sport's losing another great umpire and Willie Prince, but we appreciate it on the front.
Oh my goodness! And like I might be back out there one day, but and like back just one more quick thing, like the money. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, and you know me, I work for PBR and PG, so like I don't try to burn bridges, but like they got to go up on the money. If like the month they're making millions. Umpires getting paid $60 a game. It's just for $100 a game. I'll be out there every day calling. Yeah. I might put the camera down for $100 a game. I can go make $2,000-3,000 a week. Just doing baseball. But
and we love those guys, Sean Duncan and Ben Ford.
Yeah,
I love those guys. It don't matter to me what you pay them. But what I would say the biggest thing is I think there should be different levels, different names, different tiers, and like a good tier should be with a young tier. Like Willie Prince should be with that 21. That 21-year-old should be in the field and then rotate. It shouldn't be like two guys that don't, especially at late point, because you can be like, hey, Phil 14 is yours all day or whatever. Obviously people need breaks, but like that could be yours every Friday or whatever if you can work it. Exactly. Like PG's a different animal because they all those people. But I just think you'll get two bad guys together and they'll go talk about stuff and nobody even know the rules.
Yeah. No, you're right. And once again, back to that simple point, there's most of the college umpires and high level varsity guys, they're not umpiring travel ball. Sure. But the parents are getting worse. Coaches are getting worse. I mean, even for me, I only called 2 games this summer, and that was because they desperately needed me. I don't even want to call it because people don't understand. Like I call college, so even like me on my 50% day, I'm still better than most travel ball umpires. But coaches think they know everything, and I just like, you know what? In college, they're not going to give you, like, if a coach come out of the dugout on you in college, you probably did something wrong. Like, he ain't coming out just to argue about a balk. Like, you probably want for good reason.
But you ain't going to listen to a lot of it in college, and that's
and that's the thing. I can eject the coach in travel ball, and he's back for a doubleheader that same day. Yeah. In college, you got to do a lot, but if I send you in college, I don't have to see, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably earn that, but like I said, coaches don't come out. If a coach is coming to talk to you, it's not about some nonsense.
In college, you got an athletic director and a president and chancellor to hold you accountable. You can't just go out.
All that. You don't want to play that fine. You're not trying to pay that money, all that. So it's a little bit better, and we have a little bit more protection at the college rank.
So what do you enjoy more? I know you shot, like, actually you flew with me and Alicia to New York. You shot some stuff for us in New York. You shot some stuff for us on the beach. So, me and my wife super appreciate some of the stuff you've done. That's captured memories. Stuff we'll never forget.
It was like I said, and people, I guess we'll probably talk about later. Justine came with me, and man, we were talking about that trip this past week. Like even us, we were actually talking about. I was like, man, I wonder if Brewster going to New York for Christmas. Man, we want to go
in December actually.
But for real, yeah, I was like, we need to talk about that. But no, man, like I said, it's been great, man. Just getting to hang out with you all aside from baseball, and actually, it's cool to get to see people on the field. But when you get to hang out with people and kind of see who they are outside the field, man, that makes it even better.
Well, I tell you, one of the cool moments for me too, because like I don't want to hype myself up, but I'm a super fan of people. Like, and I thought you were a star since day one, and like I always have told you that, and big fan, man. No matter what, and tried to help any way I can. But getting this, the day we got to spend at Rock Nation, Andrew Guerrero and Brody, like we super appreciate you guys, and getting to meet OG and just doing all the stuff at Rock Nation. But watching you get to move in that room with people you respect, and I couldn't even describe to the listeners like the media and the board and the screen and all that stuff. But just getting to watch you work, man, it was fun. I was happy.
That day was good, bro. Like I said, for y'all, like I said, getting to go to Rock Nation and just I mean, it'll change your whole mindset about anything in life. Just seeing how particular they are, like how detailed they are. Yeah. And then Justine walks in and she's recording, and they're like, "Hey, you can't record nothing in here." And we were like, okay, couldn't even do nothing. Like walking in the door, we couldn't record. So, but no, that was like I said, getting to go to the rooftop, and he's talking about Megan Thee Stallion had a release party here, and just seeing. Sure. I was like, man, I can see myself in New York. Like I love Atlanta, don't get me wrong, but I was like, New York, I actually might lose some weight because I walked about 30 miles in 3 days. I was like, it might get me in shape, doing that. So
it man, and I think that's what it's all about. And fortunately, like I've always been a guy. I want everybody to come with me, and getting to do that with you, it would not have been because you almost didn't get to come because
I mean,
because of the COVID and all that stuff.
COVID tests and but it worked out. It all worked out.
It was a blessing. So we like Brody, Andrew, me and Andrew shooting later today actually. So
okay.
Guys, if y'all ever see this, and so. My question was, what do you enjoy more? Like moments like that last forever, like unique beach. Obviously you don't get to shoot in the middle of Times Square, walking through traffic like we did every day. But or do you enjoy the sports side of it? You enjoy football more, baseball more? What do you enjoy?
Man, so if I had to choose a sport, obviously I love baseball. That's where I kind of made my name. Sure. That's where kind of people know me. As we all know, baseball it's a slow sport, so you really have to like love the game to shoot it.
Sure.
Obviously, I love football. It's so much action, the student section, the atmosphere. But honestly, I think the moments when we're kind of out and it's not really sports related, but it's still kind of work, but we're living life. Sure. The beach. Getting to go to the Fort Myers. Hanging at the Airbnb. Felt like I was living like in an Italian, a little mafia or something. I had the Airbnb, indoor pool, like those moments where, once again, like work is always fun and I love shooting, but when I can take those relationships that I've made from like the sports world and they turn into like friendships,
sure.
Like that's what it's all about,
I can't speak for you, but I think moments like that made me want to work harder. The stuff we do, because that was like personal and fun, but all that was business too.
It was it was a business trip,
And we've got to a point where it's hard to explain to people. I'm speaking for me, but I think for you too. It's hard to explain which one's which. It may be business till 12, and you may see me on the beach from 1, and you go, "Oh, they didn't do anything."
Like I said, even I went out to Phoenix for the PG All-American, and like it's a work trip, but like 50% of it was personal. So I got to go to a Diamondbacks game on Monday on an off night. We got through shooting. We got to go hit up the city and just kind of we went to Arizona State. So it's good when the media, this business has opened up opportunities. Like I never thought, when you call me to go to New York, I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then you're like, hey, I want you to go for 4 or 5 days. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Yeah. So, we got to go to a Madison Square Garden. We went to Brooklyn, saw a Nets game. So, like, you're getting to actually work.
See Dumbo together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when Dumbo had a glizzy on the street, all that good stuff. But
we Alicia appreciate you doing that. Hopefully, we'll get to do it again. But
yes, sir.
Man, it's again, I think life's about making memories, and I'm old enough to appreciate that because I didn't. We talk about dark sides or whatever. We grew up so poor, underprivileged, whatever I did, that those memories we're making now didn't even seem possible. So to get to shoot them and to have them. And just to make them, is special. We got to do a lot of stuff for you, and we're super appreciative for that. So tell me, I don't know. Let's give you a chance to plug. I don't know if you want to talk about this or not, but I know you're shooting something special right now. It's got you busy every Friday night. I don't know if that's a secret or what. Super excited for you. Talk about that a little bit and what other, any kind of you got coming up.
So the cool thing about media, and I'm always trying to evolve. And like I said, it's funny because, like I said, I've never been a creative. So when I picked up the camera, and I didn't have anyone I could look to. I was, YouTube on the go kind of. And still at this moment, like I'm a photographer by trade. Like I'm more of a photographer. But I found that like so many people wanted video, so I had to kind of learn just how to shoot it.
Sure.
There's a lot of creators out there that do good work, and so in my profession, I was just trying to see like how can we take it to the next level? How can I expand my portfolio? So we started working on. I got close with the football player Caleb LaValle, who's at Whitfield Academy. He's committed to North Carolina. So we were kind of just like. We kind of got in a rut where, like, everyone was shooting game highlights. And I love game highlights because it shows the game, it's memories, but it was like everybody was shooting the same thing. So I was like, how can we kind of shoot some game highlights that make it a little different? And Justine was like, hey, let's do a docuseries. And it just kind of worked out. Like, I knew Caleb, met his family. He's obviously, verified on Instagram, has about 50,000 followers. So it was just kind of a perfect match. Worked it even better because Whitfield hired me to shoot already. Like, they had already put me on contract. So I was already there shooting their team stuff. He played for Whitfield, so it kind of just went hand in hand. So, like I said, we're on we dropped episode 2 last Sunday. Okay. I think we're going to have about 8 episodes. And the big thing for us is I've had to learn, and this goes to, if any creators are listening, like, don't get me wrong, numbers are important. I look at engagements. Even at Rock Nation, they had that board with all the engagements. So I have to monitor engagements. But I've learned now that it's like the work's going to speak for itself. And if someone needs to see it, they're going to see it. They don't care if you got 500 views, if you got 500,000 views. So for us, it was like a portfolio builder. We're trying to show that, hey, we can do docuseries. So, next year, if, Dansby Swanson or, Mike Harris, who's had, if any MLB, NBA player comes to us, we can show that, hey, we can do game highlights. We can do a docuseries. If you and your wife want us to, follow you and go to, Cancun for a week, we can come that, whatever it is. So we're just trying to expand our portfolio and show that we're more than just game highlights and mic'd up content.
Sure. So. And the good thing about, you spoke about Justine, but there's a lot of good people around here. And I think
for sure,
obviously it's good people. You're one of the greatest dudes I ever met. It's super creative and it's vision oriented. So anytime somebody like that gets a good team around them, the sky's the limit. So
yeah. And I tell people, man, really right now, Justine is the main person that's in my circle. Without her, I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? And I say that, wholeheartedly is like, obviously, I'm out shooting the games. I'm in the sun, everything. But, she handles most of the work behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? She's helping me with contracts, with, simple stuff. Is how should my Instagram page look? How should I market? So she definitely plays a very big role in just the success of, this business.
We definitely want to shout out Justine because from a creative standpoint, it's super impressive.
She does a lot. You know what I'm saying? Graphics.
For sure.
Everything. She does a lot.
And I think it's important, too. I love baseball. All that stuff's been good to me. But it's so important and exciting to see, people from other, just watch Justine work or her on a, we had the conference call the one day. And, we're going through business. And her mind's just, you can physically see, ideas just spitting out that she didn't have. It wasn't like she had time. And, we're just having conversations. And so it fires me up. It just wants me to, to work hard. But some people just got that creativity in them that, it's unmatched and it's fun to watch. So, so the football season will come to an end. You doing any basketball this year?
Probably not. Last year I kind of got a little bit discouraged. Obviously, starting off shooting last year, I was shooting kind of whatever just to kind of get out there. The bad thing about Georgia or Atlanta, kind of like any market, is that there's so many creatives, a lot of good creatives, but it kind of gets watered down a little bit. So you might have, one basketball game and there's 15 people there. So now I got to try to rush home to release my content. Because if I don't and I wait a day, they've already dropped it. So basketball will probably be my off season. But like I said, I won't get through with baseball until end of October. We'll take November, December off. MLK is back in January. Then high school's here in February. So I really only get 2 months off. Kind of another side business that we hadn't talked about. So one of my other guys that I work with as a shooter, he shoots at Hillgrove High School. We're actually I've shot a couple weddings. Okay. And so he actually shot Dansby Swanson's engagement photos But we're about to team up and start doing like some wedding photography. So that I already know when we put our minds together, because Justine's involved with that too.
For sure.
When we release that and everything, it's gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's got experience, I've got experience, so that'll be something I kind of focus on too. In the winter and spring, we'll be kind of doing some wedding stuff as well. So
well, we're excited for you, and I'm never getting married again. So unfortunately, I can't book you, but.
Hey, whatever it's got to be a time to renew the vows. You know, I know you're gonna do a big 10-year renewal or something like that. You know, you might want to go to Abu Dhabi. Yeah. You know,
well, people don't know this, but you know, shout out, Corey Hall and Ben Ford and those guys over at PG. You know, we got invited to go to Barcelona. Like,
oh yeah,
one of the first calls we made was to you. So we were trying to take it international, but we couldn't. I'm
not allowed. I remember you told me that. I was like, oh, that's going to be...
It's just, like, I don't think people realize how much work goes into Fort Myers and Jupiter. Like, I'm gone for 3 weeks. Yeah. And there's all these kids. Like, people forget kids got to go to school.
Yeah. It's a lot.
And then, it's a lot. You know, now passports involved, international and vaccine. It's like, I just couldn't pull it off. But we appreciate PG for inviting us. And you know, hopefully in the future. I know they're doing a lot of stuff in, like, Italy and just a bunch of places.
That would have been... Like, that's one of those trips where, like, it's a work trip. But that obviously would have been like a fun. Oh, yeah. You would have found like we would, you know, one game a day. We would have found something to do every day to make that.
And
fun.
We definitely wanted to, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to do something. But you know, it's again about capturing memories. So, so you and Justine got a lot of stuff going, and you got a lot of stuff going. Personally, I want to make sure you got time to, you know, kind of tell the world. I know you got some NLI stuff, and just speak on that a little bit.
So like goals for, and once again, I'm steady over here trying to build an empire. You know, it's the media side is great. It's you know, I'm not in any means, you know, letting go of the media. That's always going to be a staple. But for people that know, I'm actually wearing a shirt. We got shout out 3 and 2 also. We both have the 3 and 2 on, man. 3 and 2 has been good to us.
For sure, I got it on too.
Should I talk? Is this a time for like future like stuff right now? Talk about what's coming up.
It's your plug.
Oh. Shout out 3 and 2. We got some clothing. Actually, 3 and 2. We got a merchandising apparel deal with them. And so we got some Black Cobra merch about to drop in about a month and a half. So like that's sponsored by 3 and 2. They actually made this hoodie for me. If y'all can see, it's a Black Cobra Sports. So people don't know this about me because media got so busy this past summer and this past year was that I actually have my agent license in like 6 states. So we launched Black Cobra Sports. It's a full service sports agency. That's me and Justine co-own that, but you know, we do marketing, branding, NIL deals, media, pretty much everything. You know, we're kind of building people's brands. Sure. This summer and this spring, we didn't get to work on it as much, and that's another reason for the umpiring is like I was so busy, gone 14 weekends, I didn't have a time, and didn't think I was going to do as much summer, you know, baseball, and it ended up being way more. So we didn't get to do as much Black Cobra Sports, but this fall and winter, you know, we're really trying to amp that up. We've got a couple guys on our radar. So that's really a big focus for us. And like I said, we got the clothing line that's about to drop late October, early November. So those are kind of 2 of the big things that we kind of got on our radar as far as, you know, endeavors moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, Sean Murphy and Derek Hemingway and all those guys, you know, we love over 3 and 2. And a lot of people don't know this. And, you know, it was really important to me for those guys to take care of you and just try to, you know, and I told Sean, like, hey, the kids control everything. And one thing, and I'll give Brody credit, like Brody told us his story about Jay-Z one time, and Jay-Z said, you know, Rock Nation's cool, we control what cool is. And that's kind of what I told 3 and 2. I was like, the kids control what's cool right now, and the kids love Cobra. So, like, we got to get Cobra with us, because it only makes sense. Like, I want to be a part of something that everybody loves. And 3 and 2 has been the greatest in the world to me. Like, none of this is possible without them, and we love you guys if y'all happen to see. I'm going to try to get Sean on one day because I don't think people realize how big 3 and 2 is. Like,
and I didn't even know. Like, the first time I talked to him, we met kind of because I was shooting for you all already, and they kind of had some more teams down in Jupiter, and they kind of reached out and said, hey, can you just grab some photos? And I was like, I'd heard of them, but didn't really know. But then, you know, when I got to talk, when we started sitting down and actually talking business, I'm like, okay, they're actually like a major player. Like that, you know, like granted, no one will ever be Nike. Like Nike is Nike, but like they're up there with like, you know, Adidas, Reebok, Under Armour. Like they're in that same market as those companies.
Well, they got some big leaguers, you know, Aaron Nolan and you know Franco Savelli, some of those guys. But they're like, you know, they're in racing and just softball. Yeah. I mean, they're all over and doing all kind of stuff. So we super appreciate those guys, and we're glad you're part of the 3 and 2 family now for sure. So
a lot of 3 and 2.
Oh yeah, ain't no doubt. So when you adjust in on the NIL side and all that, I mean, y'all got anything else going on? I mean, I know you got the sports and the wedding and the docuseries wrapping up in a while.
I mean, honestly, man, just growth. We're trying, like I said, my biggest thing this year was trying to grow as, obviously a person, and everything I say as far as like business always translates back to like me as a person. But from a business standpoint, man, just trying to grow, trying to see, and once again, I preach this to all the creators I know. I don't try to say I'm a video editor. Like I only started doing video because I saw a niche and like people wanted it. But, I've got a couple of young guys that edit for me and work for me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying, I'm almost like you. It's like, I see that I got a platform now and there's a lot of young talent that's coming up. How can I give them opportunity to showcase their talents? People ask me all the time in baseball, like, Cobra, there's people that are out shooting East Cobb or, even next up when they shoot you is like, Cobra, don't you get mad when people are shooting your team? I'm like, first of all, like, I don't own those teams, you know what I'm saying? Second of all, there's enough work for everyone to eat. Like there literally is, if you know how to handle business as a creative, there's a space for you, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have to try to hog it. I don't have to try to be jealous, but I'm trying to give people opportunities to showcase their talents, whether it be another shooter, photographer, whether it be, a kid that loves video editing, whether it be someone that wants to be, an NFL agent, MLB agent. Like, I've got opportunities kind of like you where like we've got a platform now to where, I can give people chances to, like I said, come on board and join something that's, definitely going to blow up here in the near future. So.
And as I get older at 33 now, like one of the best thing about being successful is helping other people. Like it helps such a strong word. Like I want to help people that can't do anything for me. Like I don't want to help somebody that does stuff for me. I want to help because like it's on my heart and like you see the passion for it. And, so with all the stuff you got and all the hands you got and everything, you ever worry about anything like being a failure?
Honestly, no, because I feel like I know my work ethic and like I said, having like once again going back to the whole team thing. For sure. When you have people around you that are just so goal oriented and they're on the journey with you, like we have no reason but to succeed. Like we have to, Now, I guess failure in the terms of like. I would love to be able to go and do $1 million in like media money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If I miss the mark and only do, $250,000, but it's like, is that failure though? Like I might not have hit my goals, but if I go make $250,000 a year doing media, that's pretty good. A lot of people making that. So, like the sports agency, last year we didn't really sign too many athletes. We had a goal to sign like 7 or 8, and we didn't hit that goal. But like it's not really a failure. Like we learned from stuff. I got to see how contracts work. Like, quick story. So we had a kid from Ole Miss we were going to sign, and he's potentially going to be like a second, third round draft pick this year. Well, when we wrote the contract out, like I don't have any lawyer, experience. Yeah. Justine's not a lawyer. We wrote the contract, and he actually got approached by Jason Kelce. So Travis Kelce's brother who played, I think it was with the Eagles. I'm not sure who's with now, but offensive lineman. And so the guy that I knew, they sent the contract to like the actual agency to kind of look over it, and they were like, "Yo, this contract is like horrible." And obviously, we don't have any experience, so like we were just trying to copy some off the internet and do it. But long story short, like even from that, it's like it's not a failure. Like we end up losing that kid. Sure. He ended up signing with another agency. It wasn't a failure, but it made me realize, okay, I got to go hire someone that knows law, that knows sports law, because I don't have the time to go learn it. It's not my expertise, and let someone else that knows it and loves it, they can come be a part of something. So, like, once again, did we miss out and did we lose something? Yes, but, like, it wasn't – I never look at stuff like a failure. Sure. Like, I grow from stuff, and we grew from that, and it made us transition our minds. But, okay, we got to add people to the team that know sports law. For sure. So for sure.
Well, it's always good to have, people on retainer sometimes.
Yeah,
I'll tell you the crazy thing, too, like, talking about failure and all that is like, and you'll appreciate this is like, I feel like, we had a parent or I had somebody tell me, somebody that I respect, they were like, oh, I don't know why he wants to do the show and nobody's going to watch it, whatever. He's not going to be any good at it. And I thought, well, I'm not supposed to be any good at it. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, that don't make it a failure. I'm going to learn.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And like I said, the thing with you is that, and once again, this comes down to, I've had to learn people get so stuck up on numbers. And once again, I'm not saying numbers aren't important because you have to be able to track stuff and like see if stuff's working.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, let's say you only get 30 views.
Yeah.
But if one person gets touched from it, if someone calls me on the phone like, hey, Cobra, man, I heard your episode. I'm a creative coming up and blah, blah, blah. Like, if they got touched, it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, we would love to go get 30,000 views in day one.
For sure.
Everyone loves that. But like you said, I think the important thing is, like, how can we touch people? How can we hopefully, motivate, inspire people to be better? And if we're doing that, then like I said, the views don't matter because you really can't quantize, like how much impact we're having on people, by numbers.
And I'll tell you this, like the only way I think this could be a failure is because I got my hand in so many things, like, like I don't, whatever, like, baseball is obviously, but we got other businesses that you know about.
Yeah.
Like I think it'd be a failure if I kept doing, like if I didn't enjoy doing this and kept doing it to prove people wrong. Like it took away from what we love. That's the only way I think this could fail. But I think like, I enjoy doing this. I have no idea what I'm doing. Like I've said that in every episode we shot. I don't have any idea. But I don't feel like this is work. Like I already had an iPad. Yeah. I mean, we had all the stuff. Like I said, and I got the best friends in the world. All we gotta do is hit record.
We just talk, it's a regular call. Like this is the same thing we would talk about if we were on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So it's just recording.
So hopefully I can help, and just as we wrap this up and come to an end, people didn't know you were, had an agency side or NLI side or NIL side. So, I hope even if nobody takes anything from it, inspiringly, maybe they'll, reach out and we can help you and whatever. 'Cause that's what it's all about, is helping people.
Yeah.
So as we wrap this up, I like to end every episode with what I call 5 moments of truth. So, moment one or question one for me, and this question is very important because I think, hopefully we shoot 1 million episodes, but I think 100 episodes in, if you just rolled this question, it's the most important one to me because all my friends are successful, or most of them, I feel like, and this is such a huge part of who makes Willie Prince and Black Cobra. What's the best advice you've ever received and who gave it to you?
Good question. So actually, I got the best piece of advice is I got it. Now it's kind of my personal, so I guess I gave it to myself, but it's something I kind of live by, on a daily. It's really just embrace the grind and enjoy the journey. And that's something I just try to live by as far as, whether it be life, whether it's, weight loss, whether it's, trying to get your mental health together, whether it's, work. I've always tried to embrace the grind in a good way because the grind is good, but also with the grind, like enjoying the journey. So like that's where, I'm out shooting baseball. It's 100 degrees and I got 6 games to shoot in 2 days. And I'm embracing that grind, but throughout that process, like enjoy the journey and don't miss an opportunity to maybe share some light with someone. So that's something, like I said, that I try to live by daily, is just like to embrace the grind and enjoy the journey.
Well, I mean, if you'd have went home after that game, you umpired at PBR that day, we'd have never met probably. And,
Exactly. I'm saying? And that's part of the journey, getting to hang out in dugouts and be around people, talk to parents, talk to coaches, and just kind of talk to people about, life. It's bigger than sports. Obviously, sports is a big part of both of our lives, but, it's a lot bigger than that sometimes.
So, obviously, moment two, obviously you played college football and a big-time athlete. So, you can take this question back. This question could go all the way back then, or it could go to, what you do now in the media side or whatever. But who's the biggest mentor you've had, and kind of speak on them for a little bit, either playing days or, media side, however you want to take it, with the biggest mentor you've had.
I'm going to be honest with you, mentor, and once again, for people that don't know, like, when I started sports media, I jumped in, like, head first, didn't know anyone. And even still, like, I don't necessarily have a mentor. I've kind of just been learning and just going. Now, if you want to say, like, the most influential person in my life, and it's probably cliche, but like my mom, like, she's the one, even from an early age where, my mom's probably one of the most devout Christians you'll meet. So it's always funny looking back because, as a child, we like to get in trouble and do stuff. And, like, my mom would always be like, what's done in the dark comes to the light. And, like, I was like, yeah, whatever. And, like, every time, like, if I did something that she's supposed to know about, she would find out. But, even, talking about earlier, man, like, when I went through the divorce, went through those tough times, like, my mom's just one consistently in my life that, has an encouraging word. She knows what to say at the right moment. I might be going through something and I'll call her and she'll be like, hey, I prayed for you today, like extra hard. And I'll be like she didn't even know that I was like needed some extra prayer. So, just, my mom, coming to visit me in Atlanta, now granted, I'm close to my whole family, but me and my mom, like, we talk 2-3 times a day. So she's definitely been the one that, even in the media, like when I first started as a parent, no one really considers media like a full time. It's like you're doing a hobby. But when she started seeing, like, oh, okay, like she started seeing some of the paychecks, and like I would like take screenshots of my bank account and send it to her, so I could show her, like, hey, like it's a real job, like you can't talk down about it. But even now, like, she asked me, how's the shooting going? Where are you going to shoot today? She had some Black Cobra Media shirts. She wanted one of these. I was like, you don't even know what it says on this, Mom. But she's always supportive and always just giving me what I need, even when I don't think I know what I need, or even if I don't need it. She always gives me what I need.
Well,
so.
I think that's super important. Obviously, you got to meet my dad in New York. And,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know I wouldn't be here without him and all the support he gave me. I know you feel the same way. So it's always super appreciative as we grow up and successful, and be able to get back to them and appreciate everything. Because you don't always appreciate it when you're going through it.
Man, and even something I still catch myself not appreciating it as much, but like, I can even, and probably you could probably attest to this, like my dad, as he's getting older now, he's starting to get more sentimental. So like we're trying to take trips now, Now we traveled as a family when I was younger, but like my dad's like, hey, let's go to Chicago for a weekend, like and so I had to have a in umpire season, I had to have a MRI. I messed up my meniscus. And so it was around a time where like money was kind of tight. My dad just sent me like $1,000 on Cash App. He's never been the one. Like, he's been real frugal, but now he's like, oh, what do y'all want for Christmas? He just sent his money. So he's, so just trying to give back to them and just, really enjoy family. That's the big thing, is that we get so busy sometimes that it's easy for me to blow off some family events. But I've tried to make it a point now to be like, hey, like I need to take off these weekends to spend time with family and make sure that, we're creating memories, for ourselves too.
For sure. So moment 3 is who's one of the up and coming guys or gals in your profession that if you had an unlimited budget, you could hire anybody you wanted to today, who's the one person that's out there working hard?
That's tough. So I'm gonna give you 2, and then like I said, there's a lot of good creatives. Like I talk about it all the time. So 2 guys that I rock with right now. First guy is Cam Tookett. Met this young kid this past high school season, like in February. I think he just started shooting in November. So like I said, he was out working hard. Kind of like he reminded me of myself back when I first started. Like not afraid to go shoot for free, make connections, just get out there. So that's Cam Tookett. And another guy, Create with Dre. Another guy, once again, I met this year. And it's funny. Dre met me in basketball season last year. I didn't have on any clothing that said Black Cobra, but I guess he face recognized me. He came up to me, shook my hand. He was like, "Hey man, Black Cobra, I've been following you." And at that time, I didn't really think like I'm still a regular guy, but like I didn't even think I was having that kind of impact. He was like, just to be in the same arena with you, man, is something special. But he's just taken off. Like I mean, he's so heavy in the football scene. So like I said, Cam Tookett and Create with Dre. Those are 2 guys right now that are doing big things, and I'm definitely looking forward to them. Continuing to rise throughout their journey. So
we talked about your mom being influential too. We talked about Create with Dre and Cam Tookett being the best up and coming. There's obviously a huge age gap for those 3 people. Give me the qualities, because obviously there's different generations and there's just different, age gap and all that stuff. But give me the qualities that those people share that just make them stand out. That if anybody's watching, you go, hey, that's what the work, the grind, whatever what makes those people stand out from everybody else that people should be chasing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of almost like that. There's not really like a perfect person. I mean, there are definitely good aspects. I'd say you got to be outgoing, especially in this profession. Got to be outgoing. Got to be business minded, obviously. And a big one for me is like you got to be personable and relatable. That's one reason why people have kind of, even like I'm 33, so. I'm older than most everyone I'm shooting, even most photographers and creatives. But like I still have a childish personality as far as like I'm very, like friendly, playful, all that stuff. And I think sometimes as creatives or people, we kind of act a little bit uptight or whatever the word is. But I think being relatable, being approachable, being personable is something that can take you a long way, because at that moment, everyone feels they can talk to you. My inbox on my Instagram, TikTok is always open. Kids message me all the time. Like they know that if something's either wrong in life or, hey, Cobra, I hit a home run today. I know you weren't there, but I just wanted to share that with you. Like they know that I'm not just going to open it and leave it on red. Like, I'm going to actually be like, hey, man, proud of you. Keep grinding, little bro. So I think that's one thing that, the people that I've seen, Cam and Dre, they're both approachable, both personable. And so kids, they relate to that and they respect it. They definitely respect that. So,
4, give me some personal or professional goals for you for the rest of this year and for 2023.
Like I said, big one, Black Cobra Sports and Black Cobra Clothing. So we're just trying to we've already officially launched them, but just trying to get those to a point where they're really, sustainable, catch them up to Black Cobra Media. And then just personal, man, I'm trying to lose some weight. Like, I know you and Alicia were on that journey, and probably still are, but like, I'm trying to, I did like a little travel vlog in Phoenix, and I was looking at myself in the camera like, I gotta lose some weight, man. So that's just something where like it's tough because my schedule's so sporadic, and so I got to be more consistent with just trying to get in the gym. But like that's one of my big priorities, and hopefully, if I film another episode like next spring, I can come on and be like, I'm down 40 pounds, 30 pounds. But I think for anyone listening, man, health has got to be important. That's one thing I've slacked with over this past year. So I definitely got to get back to just eating healthy habits, whether it be reading, exercising, all that good stuff that comes with like good mental health as well.
When I lost close to 70 and she lost like 40 plus. And we obviously put some back on in the last 2 years. But the best part, it wasn't like bragging. It was like, because as a bigger guy, when I would see some people be like, oh, we lost all this weight, I'd be like, that ain't true. You see his commercial.
Yeah.
You're like, there ain't no way that they did it just organically. So the best part for me was being able to post it because people know me. Like, I could literally help change people's like opinion or like, could give advice on something that like we did. We didn't take shots, no surgeries, and there ain't nothing wrong with like whatever. But like we just literally grinded it out, and we started back doing it again, and hopefully it'll keep going. But it's a grind for sure. So the last one and the most important one maybe is so we talked about being part of a change and inspire and just all that good stuff. So this is kind of an open-ended question, but on the whole mantra of starting this podcast, I want to change the world and just be part of the good. Give me kind of just as an outgoing way to end this, something a message or just kind of what you see to help improve everything around us and keep motivating and inspire people.
Yeah. And like I said, man, that could go a lot of ways. I would say one thing that I've seen a lot just throughout just life, I just wish people would be just be good people, and that's one thing that I can't preach enough is that, in a world full of just a lot of craziness, man, I live in Atlanta, so there's an Instagram page called ATL Scoop, and like every day you'll get on there and you just see just craziness, you know what I'm saying? So I try to, for my own personal life, just, be as good as I can. Obviously, no one's perfect, but like, I try to make sure that every day, I'm doing something that's going to help someone else that can benefit someone else. And like I said, it's not always about what can somebody else do for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the true definition of help, of helping someone or wanting to give back. Like if you're always looking to like, I did this for such and such and they did this for me in return, and you're always looking for that, you've kind of missed the point. So, just trying to be a good person, whether it's, going out and, a kid that might not can afford photos or media, going and surprising the team and shooting or, just being a good person, being a listening ear. Like I said, I posted last week something about, mental health and like if you ever need to talk, like my inbox is always open. So I wish people would just, and once again, I know a lot of good people and most of the people that I know are good,
for sure.
But just to consciously like have them in front of your brain to like, you see that kid in school that's maybe getting bullied or not, popular, like you can ignore sin with your friend group for one day and go, sit with some, shed some light. So just being a good person. And then like I said, as far as changing the world, like I said, I'm thankful that you're doing this because I know you're going to have people on here that have stories to tell.
For sure.
And like I said, at the end of the day, if one person gets something away from this, if only one person takes something away from it, it's been worth it, regardless of views, likes,
for sure,
whatever that. So that's one thing that I can say. I know that you're going to give people the opportunity to come on and tell their story and relate with people.
Well, so. I'm hoping, I'm going to try hard. Obviously, I'm human and whatever, but I'm going to try hard not to even pay attention to the views because I don't want the message to get changed, good or bad. I remember one day you asked me why I took my Instagram, or why do people take their likes off Instagram? That's literally like when I felt I'd become an adult. Like I was like, man, like I ain't deleting no pictures. I didn't get enough like it don't matter. It's for me, and that's how I feel about the views. Like I know I'm doing good. I know I'm doing the right thing, and hopefully everybody enjoys it. Hopefully we shoot millions of episodes, and
Yeah.
hopefully one day we're doing it together in person on the set. But we're just gonna do it one episode at a time, man. We're super grateful and appreciative you were episode 2.
Yes,
I can't
sir.
thank you enough for being on and for just being a friend of mine, and really for me and Alicia both, man. I appreciate you and know you're making baseball better and the world a better place, man. So we appreciate that, and we definitely appreciate you being on episode 2.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Brewster. Like I said, I'm looking forward to this coming out. So
I appreciate everything, my man.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
He conducted himself like a knucklehead on a couple of occasions.
I have no idea